Oh yeah, it's really because like I said, I'm doing everything different because of this.
Yeah.
Normally I have a mic on the desk and everything's screwed back.
Yeah.
But since I don't have my mic, both my mics, all three of my mics. Yeah. Let me see how I fit right. Oh yeah, I'm Gucci. I just need to lean down. And there it is. Okay, bet. So I'll have to record. Portable charger. Alright.
This gets good back to get that out the shot. Right there. And give me room from under.
Facts. Alright.
Does she want us to put some towels down for the liquid? I don't know if the thing will start warping.
Oh yeah.
Like a napkin or something. Let's see if you want to lift it for me, and I'll put it over there.
Alrighty.
And it's a screw top, so it's not gonna.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm just nervous about hookah in general.
No, I bought this 2-piece set right here cost more than my hookah.
I believe it.
I was like, I need a cover top because for one, I hate using full all day.
Oh, who you telling?
And then I needed a screw top because I see so many people's grommets come out and they drop the base and it's cracked.
Oh, I seen one on Easter. Girl was so drunk she ended up knocking the hookah over and fell over and had to clean that shit up.
Damn.
So I was like, yeah, nah. Alright, that's ready. Let me check and make sure I got a battery in the charger in case that bitch dies.
Yes, sir.
Alright, got a battery in the charger. I got 2 ready to go. Already, got the SSD in there. Hour and 30 minutes. Alright. Like I said, the vlog camera is the one that gets on YouTube quicker.
Yeah.
Alright, so.
Go ahead, get you some too, man.
Yes, please.
Put that in there.
Yeah, I'll let you pour it before we get started.
Right. See you cook right there. I know you like the drinks, man.
Yeah. I'll let you make the concoction. I'm just a guest when it comes to your liquor.
Hey, that lime juice with cranberry is by far my only drink that I'll probably order when I go out.
Fair.
Cranberry juice and cognac, it cuts it so well.
Yeah, it's a black master cut.
Yeah. It's like lemonade and whiskey. They just go together perfectly.
Or apple, what's it? Cranberry Sprite with apple crown. It just goes.
I haven't tried that. I always try Crown Apple with lemonade, but I ain't had the Sprite.
Like when the Christmas Sprites normally, but it was a special one that Braun did.
Oh yeah.
That one was a fire combination. I hate they got rid of it. That and tropical Sprite are the 2 things I just hate they got rid of.
It's like everything limited edition that's great. They don't realize, hey, maybe we should make this a normal product.
Facts. Alrighty. Let me get started.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to Sneakers and Stogies. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your favorite YouTube villain, Landon Strange here. And I got a special guest with me. Someone I ain't seen in a minute. Somebody that's been working hard and hardly never not working. The golfer himself, Renoir.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me, man.
Now, today is a 2-parter season finale, season 3.
Cool.
But before I get into that, I just want to talk about all the shootings that's happened. Before I get into the real gritty of the show, because honestly, I wanted to do an episode last week because everything was so
tense.
Too tense, actually. And I want to send my prayers to the families and the friends and even the connections of people who have lost someone in these multiple mass shootings. Because we even had one yesterday. Yeah. And I'm like, at this point, just regulate the guns. But I really and sincerely want to send, my prayers and my condolences to everybody who lost somebody in these last few weeks, or in general this year, to mass shootings. And this is before I wanted to start the show. Okay. So I just wanted to get that out in the air. But, ladies and gentlemen, like I said earlier, it's a 2-parter season finale. What up, H-Town Wise Guy? Welcome to the show. Luckily, today is the one day we don't have a stogie because Renoir here decided to bring a hookah to the show. And when you're watching on YouTube, you will see the hookah and everything, I hope you brought some more tips. Pause.
I thought you were smoking a stogie.
Oh, you was see, this is why you don't have guests on the show. You know why? Because you always have your own motherfucking new tip. Pause.
Hey, you know what's funny?
Talk to me.
I haven't bought tips for this hookah in almost 2 years because I have that BYO keychain hookah.
Oh, yes.
And so, if I ever have tips for people, I'm like going through old bags that I bought to like parties. See,
Ha!
but see, that's why Houston people have.
Ha!
Houston people always got a hookah tip on.
You have to have a hookah temperature from Houston because you never know what club is charging for the hookah.
Or what terrible guest you gonna have that don't.
Or for sure, whatever terrible guess you don't have money to pay for the hookah or put in.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna smoke the hookah too,
Yeah.
but just to try it because, like I said, I'm a guest on the hookah and the drinks. Tell them the drink you made,
So
please.
I got us some good old Claude de Châtelet. Just VSOP. Yeah, it's gonna pull. It's gonna pull.
It's a different hookah.
Oh yeah, and then just some regular Langer's cranberry juice from Specs with some lime juice. So
Okay.
What kind of lime juice you like, but I got put onto the drink a long time ago, and when I say I really don't like any other cognac cocktail, this is it.
Oh snap! H-Town Wise gotta say straight up, you always have to have a tip somewhere.
Exactly.
I definitely agree, but this is really an impromptu show because, like I said, I had multiple topics planned.
Okay.
And multiple things happen. I'm gonna wave to you. I'm sorry if I'm too close into the screen, but
Good.
oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make a video one day, and I'm gonna post it everywhere. The best way to get your hookah to blow properly, burn properly, you gotta get your cheesecloth bag. You have to strain your shisha.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody be putting it in napkins and pressing it. It gets it too dry. I put the cheesecloth bag, and then I get on a chopping board. And I cut up the shisha to get it finer, so you stretch out that.
I'll stretch out the smoke.
Yeah. But you stretch out your shisha. So
Oh
it
yeah,
lasts longer.
of course.
Yeah.
But no, that was a good smoke, and the drink is actually phenomenal. But since somebody didn't think I was gonna be prepared, I got my pipe today, and I got one of my favorite cigars from the Dominican Republic. I don't have the label on me, but it's been on a past episode, so I'm just gonna smoke it out the pipe today because I don't feel like cutting it. Not today. Not me.
Awesome.
So I know you've been busy, and we're gonna get into you right now before we get into like the nitty gritty of the show.
Okay.
So your shoes.
Yes, sir.
Take one off. You bringing me some Air Jordan 1 low breads.
Yes, sir.
What year did you get them?
So, funny story. My cousin Sean Roeder, he lives in San Antonio. He was a sneakerhead back in the 90s.
Oh, he's
an OG. Like waiting outside when waiting outside
was
a safe thing.
Yes, and I can relate.
And so he actually gave me these in 2014. But if I could actually look up when the ones released, I'm pretty sure they were early 2000s release.
Yeah, because that's a rare shoe.
Yeah, and so he gave them to me. As you see, I'm not the best sneakerhead.
Of course.
I try to use my shoes.
I've
probably done a kickflip in this one.
Yeah,
I've done a kickflip in this one.
You wear the shoes. You're not a hype beast, so I'm appreciative. If you don't mind if I can check it, I can tell you the year.
That's what I was about to say. I'm pretty sure it's on the tag.
Yeah, it's early 2013, so 2014. So yeah, 2013 release. It's still a great shoe by material and everything. And
I need to get it restored a little bit.
I mean, honestly, the only restoration you really need is right here.
Yeah.
And you can do this easily. Yeah. So still a great shoe.
Yeah.
See, I wish I'd have known my guest had some ones because I'd have brought out a pair of ones as well. I'd have probably brought out my Olympics or my hair, the original hair, so just to bring out some flair.
Yeah.
But you golfed.
All my life.
All your life.
All my life.
And I know you still golf, but in comparison to how you used to golf, because I haven't played golf since I was a young kid, so terms are a little different. I don't remember the legality and the terms and everything.
Yeah.
But didn't you go to TSU and play golf too? Or?
Yep. I graduated from high school in 2013.
Okay.
And originally went to Oklahoma Wesleyan.
Okay, I heard
Played out there for a year and a half.
Okay.
And just wasn't feeling the vibes. Too far from home.
Fair.
Took too much to get home for holidays, and I always wanted to be in Houston.
Okay.
And so I was like, let me look at some stuff and talk to Coach Hank. Shout out to Coach Hank for giving me that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But I transferred in 2015 spring semester, and Never look back.
Never look back.
Never look back.
So, let me ask this then. How do you, you have a story of one of your best games, by any chance?
I will say it was actually my last year of golf at TSU, so 2017. I graduated in 2018, but I did 5 years of school.
Of course.
And so, came back from summer break, and that fall semester we went to the Black Hall of Fame college golf tournament in Atlanta. And that whole summer I was working out at Palmilla Beach in Port Aransas, Texas, literally waking up at 3:30 to get to work by 4:30, had a 45-minute drive, and I would work from 6 to 12, get off, and practice from 12 to like 7 o'clock at night, make it home at 9, out on the golf course all day. And I came back feeling like completely like a different man. Like that golf course that I practiced at was just, it was a pretty tough course.
Okay.
Arnold Palmer design, whoever knows out there, whoever that, yeah, he was an old design. He actually came out and drove a Cadillac on the first hole and played the first hole in a Cadillac convertible, so it was pretty cool. But that golf tournament, I felt like I was so locked in, and it was funny, the first group that I got to play with, I asked them, you know, what won this tournament last year? And they was like, oh, like 2-3 under. And I proceeded to shoot 69 that day, and then proceeded to shoot 1 under the next day, and ended up winning the tournament. And I think that was my last collegiate win.
Oh, wow.
2017, senior year. And yeah, it was a different feeling. There was like, I think it was, if anybody knows what par 3s are, there's a shorter version where you can hit the green in one. It was a 212-yard par 3, and I think in the 2 days that we played, I was a combined total distance of like 7 feet from the hole. So wow. I birdied it 2 times in a row and stuck one to 3 feet and stuck one to like 4 feet.
Wow. And
so, yeah, it was a different feeling that day when you just feel locked in. Like LeBron in the final, like this, I couldn't do no wrong. The ball went where I wanted it to go. So
that's a blessing, and honestly, the reason I invite you, besides we've been trying to plan this for so long, but no, it's not just your fault. Like, for those who don't know and those who are regular watchers of the show and the YouTube channel and everything, for right now, like I said, this is a 2-part finale. So my college roommate, who's also doing film and stuff, will also be on the second half of the show. But I'm taking a break so I can finish catching up on all the work I have to do.
There you go.
Because I have so many videos that everybody's missing out on, and I just haven't had time to stop. And then with everything mental going on and all that stuff, and when you see the YouTube videos, you will see my explanations on why everything has been like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But the reason I wanted to have you on, because a lot of sneakerheads, in a sense, also play golf. And there's a lot of great shoes that are also golf customs.
Yes.
And so I wanted to learn more about the game itself, because I ain't played in years. I got a whole set of clubs I haven't used that are catching spider webs and dust and all that. But it's just something that I wanted to make more relatable.
Yeah.
And I want just not to get the sneakerheads and the stogie addicts on the show. I want different avenues of entertainment. So any avenue that makes sense, I will put on the show.
I like that.
I want to diversify the show, honestly and truthfully, because of the fact, like, of course, my co-host and my executive producer and everybody's busy, so I still have to do the show on my own.
Yeah.
And I respect everybody's time, but at the same time, I still got to keep the show rolling.
Yeah.
So I wanted to diversify my guests and diversify their platform, so that way, and when y'all do something, y'all can do something and it works in y'all favor, and y'all have the experience from the show.
I love that. Sorry, like I said, I really appreciate you for having me here, man. He's a great guy. I met him when I first got to TSU through my roommate. Shout out Coop.
Shout out Coop, man. Jeremiah Coop.
Yes, sir. And so ever since then, this is a person, you, Cordero, Toki, everybody's been people, I love to be around, look up to. Y'all are a great group of people.
Thank you.
Great group of people.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. Because you never know who you're going to meet and what they're going to do in life.
Exactly.
So that's the key thing. That's the one thing I always try to tell people on the show. Like, when you have guests and everything, I'm sorry I'm adjusting myself. I'm trying to get comfortable while smoking the pipe and trying to reach for the hookah and sing it too.
Oh yeah.
Now
I'm a hookah hoochie, so you got
not a hookah hoochie.
You gotta remind me to.
Not a hookah hoochie. That is a new word that I will not coin on a shirt later in line and sell you and give you the shirt for free later down the line. The world might never know.
I will hog a hookah And every time I go out, no matter where I'm at, if I only got $35 in my account, that $35 is gonna be put. Cause I am not sharing with nobody unless it's my girlfriend. That's about it. Yeah.
I mean, at this point in time, you know, before we get into the real nitty gritty of the show, you know, you can give your girlfriend a shout out.
Shout out to Bae. Follow her on the IG at __ZAANDRAA. She is putting out some good content, growing her IG page like crazy. I think we looked maybe 2 nights ago, and in the past month, she's grown about 18,000 people.
That is amazing.
I don't know what happened, but hey, I tell her, baby, keep going on. I'm behind the camera.
Exactly.
Try as best as I can, because I'm not a photographer at all.
Hey, photographer right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
But I understand, like, she edits and you shoot.
Yeah.
So that's cute. Like my creative director Channing is also with his girlfriend Niecy also, you know, shoots, and they both model and shoot, so it works together.
Yeah.
So that's cute.
Yeah, she's trying to get me to get in front of the camera, but as you remember from my graduation photo shoot, I am not a camera friendly person in front of me. I can be behind it, but the camera don't love me.
Same. I'm the same way. Like, I don't like being in front of the camera, but yet I'm shooting a whole podcast.
Video is different.
It is so different.
It's much more fun. It's much more fun to be in, you know, streaming and all that stuff. But them photos, when it gets you your still image, you're like, yeah.
No, I can relate. So let's get into the topic of streaming then, since you brought it up.
Okay.
So, my co-host Cordero, Thanos Primal, for everybody who knows him, he has his own streaming channel. I have my own streaming channel as well.
Okay.
I just, honestly, when the shooting happened in Buffalo, I stopped using Twitch. Because he did the live stream on Twitch, and I was always from Twitch and then uploading to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to cut out the middleman, I'm just going straight YouTube streaming. So that's why a lot more of my game content is on YouTube than Twitch now.
And I want to do that too, because my favorite streamer, Tim Tatman, he made the big switch from the purple platform. And yeah, I got a lot of advice from people that were like, you know, it's kind of tough to get people to come to YouTube and to, you know, get those things, but I hear a lot of people leaving the platform, and I kind of just wanted to get started.
No, I understand.
And so I was just like, you know what, I'm going to just go buy me, because, you know, PS4, you can only use that PS4 camera to stream, and so I was like, you know, I'm going to find an easy way. And it has a YouTube on there, but I had already had a couple following on Twitch, and I was like, let me just get started. And then, you know, once I can get my people to go with me, because like I said, I'm always on YouTube, looking at y'all stuff, looking at other people's stuff, and so that's definitely where the end goal is. For sure.
And that's the thing, like, oh, my former teammate is on. What's up, D? You missed the shoes. Like, low-key, you missed the shoes we had on. We had some low-key fire Jordan Bread ones. But no, honestly and truthfully, like, I started streaming because honestly and truthfully, I started just recording gameplay footage when I had my PS4, but I didn't have all my streaming footage devices until last year when the pandemic really was big.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck it. And since it's you want to see show the shoes.
I got you.
We're showing the shoes one more time. From 2013, 2014, fire low bread ones. You don't see them often. But no, honestly and truthfully, you don't see, how can I put this? I'm trying to put this politically correct. At that time, it was like, I started the show 2 years ago, and last week was the 2-year anniversary. So I said, since I'm streaming gaming and Cordero streaming and gaming, I was like, fuck it, we're just gonna put the streams on there as well, past streams on there as well, and rack up video counts. Because at this point, we just want everybody to enjoy the content.
Yeah.
And D said, oh wait, you're wearing them? He said, oh, hey.
I beat these ones.
He beat them, but they still look fly.
Yeah, I probably wear these 3-4 times a week, either to go get groceries out the car or to run errands or to go to Prospect or something.
They're your go-to shoes.
Yeah.
I don't blame you, honestly. But no, I've seen that you started streaming on Twitch, and I'm actually proud of you because at least you know you're streaming, you're doing something else to take your mind off of work.
And that's kind of what it was, man. I had a conversation with my girlfriend. You know, she's very supportive, and she plays Call of Duty as well.
Ooh.
So that was, you know, the high key selling point right
Low
there.
key, we got to get her on the show.
For sure, yeah. And she was like, you know, why don't you just try it? And I was like, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm very risk averse and too analytical sometimes in my life to take chances, take risks, and or just start new things. And I was like, you know what? I sit on this game 3-4 hours a day. Why not try? Even if it's not to I'm not trying to make $1 million and become a big streamer like Ninja or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But just like it makes the game totally different. You get a lot of flack when people see TTV and you're playing tag and they're like, oh, you think you're a streamer? I'm like, bro, I'm doing this for fun, to conversate, build a community,
exactly,
meet new people, and it's definitely something that does relieve stress after work. It allows me to see what I can do as far as, because I'm not a technical person as far as, editing and stuff.
Of course.
I'm trying. And it makes it way more fun. It gives a different aspect of the game than just sitting there and getting drunk.
And just playing the game.
Yeah.
No, I completely understand, because that's what we started doing. Like, once we got the Fortnite and everything, Rocket League for me, Apex, I do almost all the fighting games. I'm trying to get back into the swing of things, because I took a long break. After Street Fighter 5's disappointment, shout out to the trailer for Street Fighter 6. I'm waiting on that. But after the disappointment of Street Fighter 5 and just the success in Dragon Ball FighterZ, I took a break from fighting games and I just started playing Fortnite and different other games, and complete the trophies on PS4 for Call of Duty.
Man, I downloaded Fortnite when I was staying in T4. I played that game for 20 minutes and uninstalled it.
But now you're playing Warzone.
No, I've been playing Call of Duty since what was 2009 original Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
That Call of Duty, that's all I play. If people want to see other stuff on the stream, but
I'm telling you, like, the way that Warfare is with the Battle Royale there, it's basically Fortnite on the extreme.
Yeah, it's the original.
There's no building, so I kind of...
That's what it was. Now I said I was going to give it a shot.
You should have.
They took out building. Oh. And building I was like, yo, I can't click a button.
I'm going to tell you like this. Zero building is a funner game. It's a way better game.
I thought the building was just too much.
When they took, I'm not going to lie, when they took out building this past season, because the season's about to end in a couple of days, it made the game way more interesting, because you have to really think on your feet. Yeah. And you have to conserve everything that you have, because if you don't, you will lose.
Yeah. And I heard Apex is a beast. My cousin,
I played Apex.
He also streams as well. Shout out to the Lone Frijole,
Oh wow.
His name is on Twitch, the Lone Frijole, and he's a beast at Apex. He's been like, bro, he'll come and play Call of Duty with me, every once in a while. He's actually the reason I started playing. And I only played Modern Warfare. I know Black Ops 2 was a GOAT. I know this. I know Ghost.
Hold on. D, give me 1 second. I know you're playing Fortnite right now. Give me 1 second. We was on a good track until you said that shit.
Hey, I'll put it like this. If you put Modern Warfare 2019,
oh god no,
Cold War, and Vanguard, which one do you think is the newest release? If you showed a person and showed them the game and been like, which one is the newest game out?
Honestly, if you showed a random person, they would most likely say Vanguard.
I think they would say Modern Warfare.
I disagree, because they had a new trailer for Modern Warfare.
No, I'm saying if you showed a person, like just gameplay. I think Modern Warfare has always been the more complete package. Presentation, home screen, load up screen.
Well, see, that defies your argument, because you're talking about more recent games. But if you want to go take a step back into like when we was playing on 360 and PS3s, then you take the argument to the original Modern Warfare 2, which was glitch heavy, but which would make the game even much more amazing. Yeah. The disappointment of Modern Warfare 3.
I love Modern Warfare 3. The introduction of 1v1, 2v2.
No, that was fine, but the actual gameplay itself was lackluster in comparisons to Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
Black Ops 2, still to this day, is my favorite.
I sold Black Ops 1 and I actually didn't. I gave them to my little cousins, and I continued to play Modern Warfare 4, Modern Warfare 2, well, not Modern Warfare 4, but Call of Duty 4, and Modern Warfare 2, and then I played Modern Warfare 3 probably all the way up to 2020 until when that Christmas my girlfriend bought me a PS4, got me Black Ops 4.
Now see that I see why you hate Black Ops, because Black Ops 4 was a hit or miss. If you ain't played 2 or 3, then it's kind of
I played them. I played 3 on her system. Okay. But it's just, I guess I don't like the futuristic gameplay of Black Ops 3.
Well, see, that's why I like
Black Ops 2 was very arcade-like. Like,
oh, you mean
the camos, the dot sights. I just think Modern Warfare has always looked like a more complete game as far as like the guns, the customization, like.
But see, that it still defines your argument.
Nah, I know everything started on Black Ops with the token, and you buy camos, you buy the new red. But when they did it on Modern Warfare, it was like, okay, this is our beta, and then now we have the alpha product.
But I mean, you have two different companies releasing the games on a yearly schedule within each other.
Yeah.
And when you break down that argument and comparisons to what everything does, Black Ops 1 came after Modern Warfare, I want to say 2 if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Yeah, because Black Ops 1 was a phenomenal game because it took you back.
Yeah.
It gave the story more depth.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about story, but Nuketown, zombies, guys.
So that's another thing. I've never liked zombies. Yeah.
We're cutting the show early.
I'm taboo to the Call of Duty culture. I've always been an S&D guy. I'm the guy that gets on the game specifically to play Search and Destroy to talk shit after every round.
And I respect that.
That's it.
Look, I respect that as a human being.
Yeah.
I respect that. But even then, with the Search and Destroy, you have Team Deathmatch.
That's my warm up. I play one game of free for all off cam.
Of course.
And play 2 games of Team Deathmatch.
Of course.
And then I may stream Search and Destroy, even to make it better. I'm a Rebirth player over Caldera. Now, when Verdansk was in, I would play Battle Royale. But the pace of Rebirth is very Search and Destroy to me. Every push is a 1v6 in my head.
Okay.
And Search and Destroy. It's like, if I'm going to Granny's house, I'm going in there and I'm going to go upstairs, pop out. I'm continuously moving. So it's like, I don't know how to put it. I guess I never had also a community with me that liked to play.
Oh.
I had guys in high school. We would get on Twitter and be like, "Hey, we logging on at 6:30 tonight after school," and we would have lobbies where we would invite people talking crap at other high schools. Be like, "Okay, so you drop in private map on Rust."
Yeah, of course.
We would set the kills to unlimited.
Of course.
And so one person would get in. Whoever got to 15 first on that team, you swap out, and then the other person gets in. And once that person, he was the original person, once he gets 15, he swapped.
But see, we did something similar with Black Ops in the sense of Nuketown, because Nuketown was a small map as well. I don't get me wrong, I love
Nuketown is goated. I will say that.
Thank
Nuketown
you. That's all I want.
The games are good. It's just, if I had a choice to play
one or the other,
like, I hated World at War. I just don't like the old style arcade of the game.
So I wholeheartedly agree with you. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the overall, format and everything of Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2 and all that stuff, I'm sorry, Black Ops. Modern Warfare 2 will always be the greatest.
Yeah, and the intervention, bro. I used to get nukes all the time with a pistol and a tactical knife.
Oh yeah, of course.
On Terminal, I would go stupid.
Terminal was beyond ridiculous in its prime.
Yeah.
So I'm really skeptical about this new Modern Warfare 2 that's about to come out, because I don't want. And then you use the Modern Warfare moniker so many times within the last 15 years.
Remaster.
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm scared to take that risk with this new one.
Yeah.
So I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I think that they're definitely listening to the community, because this last update where you can see how many plates your person has, you can see what perks they have. I mean, not perks, kill streaks they have. There was a video, I don't remember the guy's name, but he literally created his own interface as he was reviewing the game and just telling the developers, like, hey, like, this is something y'all should put in. And they literally damn near did 75% of what he said in that game. So I will say, they are definitely a money-making company. They will always put out stuff, but I have a strong feeling, especially now that Tim Tatman's backing this game so strong. He's in one of the advertisements he put on his stream today. He's in one of the advertisements, so hopefully that they're listening to their top streamers who, helping them make money and understanding what they need. And like he said, you're not probably gonna play Warzone until March. It's coming out October 28th.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be the basic multiplayer campaign, whatever. And I actually do hope they take their time with releasing Warzone, because it needs to be a complete product.
I'll say, and Warzone's the more recent, battle royale one. So I'll say this, and honestly, I had Warzone when it first came out, but it took up too much goddamn space.
Yeah, I didn't get into season 3. Like I said, I didn't get Warzone until 2020. I think it was season 3. I got it PS4 from Christmas. Played Black Ops 4 for a while, and then I think maybe January or February is when I bought Modern Warfare, and just never looked back. I'm so addicted, bro. Like, literally, once we leave from here, that's probably what I'm gonna go do.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I don't want you to get it wrong. I respect Black Ops 100%. It was just, I was just so engraved into Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, and Infinity Ward as a company compared to Treyarch. I prefer Infinity Ward. They're to me they're the GOATs of the developers of those games.
See, there we go. Oh, what up, LB? Shout out to Jakari, a former guest on the show. Hello, LB. Hello, it's been shared. Hey, Damo's mom is on the show watching as well. You know, I'm happy to see her on the show. But so let's go to another topic.
Okay.
So, music.
Yeah, that's a big debate that I love to talk about.
So, a lot of albums that came out within the time of this, the 6-month mark of the year.
Yeah.
And I have a few favorites so far. But I want to hear your opinion. And I know you might put Future on there. Thank God, because Future's album was mid. I'm gonna say it right here, right now, live and in person. Future's album was high grade mid, and I was unbiasedly listening to it with all the Drake features.
Yeah.
Mid. But whose album? What's your top 5 for the year? In your opinion?
So I want to make a disclaimer for everybody that's watching and that's hopefully gonna watch.
Mm-hmm.
I am taboo on every topic that we could probably talk about.
Okay.
I don't listen to albums.
Mm.
I if it's Kendrick, of course.
Of course.
And J. Cole and Kendrick are my top guys.
Okay.
I listen to an array. You can hear me bumping country at one stoplight.
That's fair.
If you follow me to the next one, you might hear some heavy metal.
That's fair.
And then jumping all the way back to some trap music. So it's like I haven't really sat down and digested somebody's album probably since To Pimp a Butterfly.
Damn, that's 2017.
And damn.
2017, okay.
To actually really sit down and digest the album, and maybe J. Cole's last album.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like everybody's stuff that comes up now. Like if you look at my Apple 2021 playlist, I got songs that I play more that are from early 2000s than I do. Like I'm a habitual listener of old stuff.
Okay, that's
so
understandable. I respect
new albums. I would say I really enjoy anything that J. Cole has put out.
So you haven't listened to Kendrick's album then?
Not fully.
Oh my God.
Not fully. No.
Oh my God.
I haven't had the time, and when I do, but that's the thing is when it's somebody like that, I do want to sit down for that hour and 30 minutes at the house, clean or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't had that time to fully digest. Now I heard songs here and there, yeah, but I need to sit down and do that because that's somebody that I really do appreciate.
I'm gonna tell you like this. In all honesty, Kendrick's Lamar album that drops is something that we need right now. Spiritually.
Yeah.
And especially, my favorite song is not even really a song, it's an interlude. Savior Interlude is actually one of my favorite songs. Savior Interlude, Crown, Savior, United in Grief.
Okay.
Those are probably my top 4 songs from the album.
I need you to send me that. That's what I also like to do. I like to listen to, if you ever look at the Apple playlist, I listen to the starred ones first to see, okay, if this is what everybody's listening to, why are they popping me so much? And 95% of the time, every time I do that, my favorite songs are the ones that are the least liked.
See, but that's why, and so it's funny, you're kind of accurate to what I do. So I go through and listen to the entire album. If it's a favorite artist I like, I listen to the album because I don't have album music. I just actually buy the albums or download the albums and put them on my Android.
As we should.
As we should, as a human being. And Apple Music is a high price scam, but that's neither here nor there. But I see you're getting the artist their reviews, so that's fine. But in all honesty, I'd rather just not have anyone's opinion. I want to hear it for myself.
Yeah.
So I listened to Kendrick Lamar album full through with no skips, and it was a beautiful masterpiece of art.
I feel like the man can't fail.
That's
just me.
No,
all the way to Good Kid, Mad City, even before that, Section 88, bro, like, that's what I'm saying, like, I'm still going back and listening to Section 88.
Oh, of course.
Like, to this day.
I like the leaked version of when the DJs released with all the tracks that he never put on the album.
Yeah.
So, and then Untitled Masters is one of my favorites from him.
Yeah, and I feel like, if you ever hear, conspiracy theories, I do feel like there was a dimension shift in 2015 because I don't feel like movies, I don't feel like music, TV shows, nothing is being released the way it does, but Kendrick and J. Cole, when they do sit on something by themselves, it brings back that summer 2015 nostalgia to me.
Oh, yeah, of course, because I remember summer 2015, you had Big Sean's Dark Skies Paradise. Yeah. You had, I forget J. Cole's album, but you did have To Pimp a Butterfly. You had Tyler, the Creator's Cherry Bomb. You had...
That's those three right, it's probably going to blow people up, but those three right there are, to me, the best, and I'm going to say the best rappers to me is Tyler, the Tyler Creator is one of the most underrated creators and innovators and developers of all time.
Damo did that. You heard that. We have another Tyler fan here. Cause I saw him live when he was here.
And that's my biggest regret.
Oh no! I'm gonna tell you a story. I had just came back from grieving because it was my grandfather's birthday. It was the death. I was grieving his death, and I drove back to Houston for a job interview, and the tickets went on sale that Friday before my interview. I bought them tickets that day, and the concert wasn't until March.
Yeah.
So I literally bought the tickets that day. I sat on them. The app deleted from my iPhone. Download the app and everything. I went there. I spent more than $200 for tour merch for everybody else, including myself. Sat there at a high-ass spot in the Toyota Center and knew almost every word to every fucking song because he went from the new shit, the shit that just released the weekend of, to the classics, and I was vibing.
He's gonna give you a show. When I say when a person can bring Charlie Wilson out of the woodworks for multiple features, like y'all people don't listen to that. Like I get what people's standpoint is on Drake. And I know people love him. But it's a difference between a person who can go in the studio and literally play any instrument that he needs.
Yes.
Like, people don't understand that, what was his album? Igor.
Igor's a phenomenal album.
That he recorded a lot of his soundboards and things that he used in the attic of his house. Well, the top floor of his house.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, the stuff like that is like, okay, you're an artist. J. Cole, the man goes platinum with no features.
No features.
And it's like, he's not talking about popping bottles and...
That's the...
And then when he does, it's still a banger.
Bruh.
And I'm like, I get it, Drake. I get it. Drake is the curb appeal guy. He's the marketable guy. He's the good-looking guy with the big house, fancy cars.
Facts.
You know. But it's just... I just think that he's not in my top 5. But I will listen to Drake songs left and right. Chicago Freestyle, like, amazing.
I agree with your statement, your premise, but the end I cut off at right there. But I don't listen to Drake.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's like I have no choice. He's in the song and it's a song with somebody else that actually is performing way better than I listen to. But other than that, I can care.
I like when Drake doesn't try to be a gangster. Chicago Freestyle, what was it? October's very own album when he was, I thought Drake was gonna be an R&B rapper.
See, that would make more sense for him.
And when he does that, when he taps into that soul side, Marvin's room, like, I feel like that's when he shines the most.
I can agree.
But this other stuff, this team stuff, and...
So let me ask you this. So, that means you haven't heard Tyler's album full album, have you?
No, not yet.
Oh my God.
Not yet.
I don't care what you... I love Kendrick. And honestly and truthfully, I love Kendrick's album. But Tyler's album, Call Me If You Get Lost, if you're ever on... And I'll tell you like this. When the album came out, I was in California. I was on the road.
That's a vibe, dude.
So I was on an entire vibe. So when the album dropped, I put it on my phone and just listened to it and tuned out everything else.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I almost cried. So we're going to take a quick break because the camera died. Live, you're still on. The vlog, you're still on. But we're taking a break on the YouTube side of things. So we'll be right back. We're still live everywhere else.
Yes, sir.
But no, honestly and truthfully, that album was phenomenal. I'm mad it got snubbed at the Grammys.
Yeah.
Because he got rap album but didn't get the best album.
Yeah.
But no, that album is an entire vibe.
And like a lot of the conversations that I have with people, they get stuck on Goblin and the Odd Future tapes. And I get,
I get that.
His lyrics are wild, but for a person to be who they are and to be like, I don't care what society says, I'm saying stuff to purposely piss off society.
Facts.
That's what got me, because it was my high school year, 2009, 2010, when I first started, even hopspin. Like, I was skateboarding at the time. So
I did.
It was a whole,
I did
time period. And so it was just like, I'll never forget, I left Goblin. I had used my grandma's car to go to a Young Life meeting, which was funny. I was listening to Goblin to a Young Life meeting. And, I had...
about to get back on. But no, continue. So for everybody who's checking in and who's not watching the live on YouTube, you was telling us about your Goblin story. So continue. I ain't gonna be rude.
I was listening to Goblin in my grandma's SUV. She let me use it to go to Young Life meeting, which is very
two different parallels.
counterintuitive to do. And I left it in there. So she gets in her car the next day to go to the store, and I think Yonkers was playing.
Wait, the full version or the? Oh,
I had the tape.
You had the full version.
And so she was like, "Boy, I'm gonna tell you, you need G. Like, we about to go get you an exorcism." Da, 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 da. I'm like, Grandma, it's music. It's music. Do not dive too deep. Your son is not in the back room doing cult rituals. Like, but I just like him and like how you can go from a person who releases something like Goblin
and
to
the Goblin Bastard.
Yeah, to
Flower Boy.
Like to Flower Boy. It's like it's crazy.
And so, honestly and truthfully, I want you to give that album a full listen through. And honestly, I wish you, because he released the song before the show, and it was supposed to be on the album, but he said 2 songs that were supposed to be on the album, the original, but didn't make the cut. Right. And so Fishtail came out later, and then the other song, I'll send it to you after the show, of course. Oh, my brother's on. What's up, JT? But no. Honestly and truthfully, when he added the extra song into the Houston show, because he just came from New Orleans, and it flowed with the entire show, bro, that album was phenomenal.
He's another one that I feel just don't miss.
Like, he don't miss, and he takes 2 years to the day, ironically, because Igor came out 2 years after this one. Flower Boy came 2 years after before Igor, so everything was 2 years apart. But if you notice his albums, besides the 10th track, everything after Cherry Bomb, he's either had Wayne on one album and Kanye on the other. Yeah. And so this one has Wayne on it. So I'm waiting on this next one to hopefully have Kanye on it, because honestly and truthfully, Tyler, Kendrick, and Cole are 3 artists that truly don't miss. Yeah. But honestly, Pusha T had a great album this year.
I gotta listen to that.
That was a good album. I told one of my friends about Pusha T album, like, Pusha T still has something left in the tank.
Oh yeah. Because those are true artists that don't. Not trying to get back on the Drake thing. One thing I say, Drake has a great team behind him.
Uh-huh.
He has people who definitely I feel help produce these albums.
Facts.
Versus a person like Pusha T or a person like Jay-Z, they come in, they orchestrate their albums. They're
exactly.
Like, this is what we're doing. This is what I want. This is the mindset that I'm in during these time periods of what's going on in the world. Like how J. Cole, what was the album where he dedicated damn near the whole thing to his the friend's daughter?
I know. That's actually my favorite album. I know.
Like that's a crazy thing to just be like, I'm gonna make an album that I'm not gonna release for another year. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna dedicate this to somebody, and it's still gonna be a banger. Even if people don't understand what I'm trying to do, I know my following is still gonna understand. And he makes great songs. Like that is what I like versus people who now just like, I need something, of course, to play in the club so I can get my song plays. I need something that you can bang in the car when you on your trap stuff. And then maybe I'm gonna drop one love letter song. But I feel like that's what Drake does over and over again.
It's a repeated cycle.
Yeah, and it's like there's no album development to me.
Fact.
He changes his style of rapping with the Jamaican thing or whatever he was doing to going back to the Canada thing. Yeah. Saying like, I get you, he's from Canada, so respect to that. But it's like, I just feel like you're trying to change your style to sell albums on what's popping that day.
Exactly.
And that's what I don't like.
So, and another album this year that I actually appreciated, and I didn't know how much I appreciated, and I'm mad at the person who was here, was Action Bronson.
Yeah, I do like a couple songs by him. I never listened to the full album. But
I'm gonna tell you like this last, Only for Dolphins was really good. Okay. And his mixtape that came out after that was really good, but this last one, Crocodilo Turbo, really, and I might have said it wrong, and I do apologize, is really good. And it's really good because it's like you're taken to a whole nother dimension. Yeah. So it takes you out of your regular life and puts you in a place where you have no idea where you're going, but you're just here for the ride. So
that's the best albums where they can put you in a different world, different headspace.
That's why I say you need to listen to Tyler's album, because it'll take you across the world that you wouldn't even know. Yeah. I'm gonna just say like you need to listen to that album. Yeah. So. Music was the one point I really wanted to hit at, and I'm glad we hit that. I don't know if you've been following the NBA.
I'm not a sports person.
But you play golf.
My dad always said, I'll watch somebody be great when you can go practice. My dad he watches Venus and Serena, and if Tiger's not playing on Sunday, I'm not watching.
That's fair.
So, but I do understand sports. And I understand how, I actually watched Jimmy, what's his thing on YouTube? Jimmy.
Oh, I know you're talking. I can't think of his name. I know you're talking. I can't think of the
Yeah,
name.
but he released a thing about how wild these playoffs are. Like how Jimmy Butler's like popping off right now.
Oh,
he's doing stuff like he's playing at
before
Jordan.
he got limited.
Yeah, before he was playing like at Jordan and LeBron playoff level like numbers, like 33 points a game, like doing stuff that hasn't been done in almost a decade besides LeBron.
Of course.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, and I speak from my personal experience because I am a Celtics. Don't get me wrong, I'm from Houston, but I'm also a Celtics fan. Don't get it twisted. I've been through the good times and the bad times. I'm not a bandwagoner fan at all, so don't play me. But needless to say, I feel like the Warriors are gonna win. I'm a realist fan. I'm one of those fans that I know what to expect, like with the Cowboys. So I could say honestly, if the Warriors don't win at 6, it's gonna be Boston at 7.
Okay.
That's my honest opinion.
Just because you said that, I'm a tune in.
Because
I always said I wanted to get into sports because I definitely want to try sports betting. But
see, lucky for you, I can't. For a lot of people who don't know, I work with a football team. I'm not gonna say the name. Y'all can figure it out on your own with all the stuff that I have on shows. But needless to say, I can't do sports betting because of the team. Yeah. But even then, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan, and the team that I work for know what team. I'm a Cowboys fan, so
that's a funny conversation.
Oh, funny story. First day I got the job, we had our team meeting and everything, and they said, "Tell one thing about yourself." First thing I said, "I'm a Cowboys fan." Day one. So
who hired this guy?
Who hired me? But not even that. I'm one of the best mobile ticketing people. But even still, when the Cowboys come play at the stadium, that's the only time I'm really gonna stay. And I say that to say this: I enjoy a good thought out game because it's like playing chess.
Yeah.
So when I watch basketball, it's basically like a strategic game of chess, and you're picking your pieces and you're playing them correctly.
Right.
That's why I'm saying like Celtics in 7. But if the Warriors don't get in at 6, it's Boston in 7. In my personal opinion, I'm not taking that bet because I feel like shit's gonna happen in Game 5, and the world will see if something happens in Game 5. I called it, but it's the point that if it goes past Game 5, that's my 2 predictions. So
I will say that is one team that they've been on top for how? I mean, not on top. I know they lost.
Of course, Golden State's been on top for it.
That's insane. And you know what's funny? Me not being a sports person. Of course, you know about the Bulls, you know about the Lakers, you know about that. I had no idea who Golden State was until that little run that they had.
Oh, really? See, that's crazy, and that's a plot twist because, honestly and truthfully, I grew up I watched Jordan. I can say I watched Jordan play. Like, I had a guest that, I'm sorry it wasn't on the live episode, but we talked about, we watched Jordan play, and that's why we became sneakerheads in its entirety. Watched Pippen when he was even here in Houston. I watched those games, and then watching Kobe and seeing Kobe with my friend Marcus. Shout out to Marcus. When we drove to New Orleans, we actually saw Kobe in person. We took a picture with Pat Riley in New Orleans.
That's lit.
And I still had that picture on my Instagram further down, but just being around the atmosphere of an actual two All-Star weekends, and meeting celebrities and meeting them in a natural setting, and they're actually nice and welcoming people. It makes you more familiar with the sport. Yeah. So that's why I appreciate not just watching the game. I get what your pops was saying because pops played football, so I kind of understood. I understand.
That's like his biggest thing was like he could sit down and watch Serena and Venus play all day.
Yeah.
But our families my mom's side was diehard Cowboys. Oh. Every Sunday, our pastor is like, hey, we're not gonna be in church that long. The Cowboys playing at 10.
Facts.
So I was always around it, but I was always around my pops.
Of course.
And my mom, she would go down there and hang out with her sisters and watch the game and stuff like that. But I just never got into it. But I will say I can definitely go sit down and watch the Astros game. I can go watch the Texans game and whoever. But on TV, I just can't sit down in front of a TV that long. Unless I'm watching, Supernatural or something. That's different.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but I want to ask you a question though.
Go ahead.
The GOAT conversation. Don't have to dive deep into it.
Which GOAT conversation? Now let's be specific.
The only GOAT conversation that I feel you can have based upon numbers.
But I mean, with sport though, because that's what I meant.
Basketball.
Okay, basketball.
So I was watching something that the guy Jimmy posted. Do you feel it's fair, based upon the timeline, how quickly Jordan got everything done in 13 seasons? Is it fair to call somebody the GOAT? Granted, saying longevity is a feat in itself. It was LeBron, 19 seasons, 19.
I'll be 20 this year, coming up.
Is it fair to say that somebody has amplitude of time with the development of medicine, development of physical, nutrition and everything that keeps people playing longer, to call somebody the GOAT just because of longevity? Because he's going to pass his numbers if he keeps it up at this rate of 37.
So let me take that step back. Let me take that step further. Now, like I said, I'm a 90s baby. I'm an early 90s baby, 91. So the 2 years that Jordan took off was the 2 years that the Houston Rockets actually won the championship.
Right.
So, and then when when the whole Last Dance happened, and he took off, those were extra years that could have been added on to his legacy.
Right.
And the only reason I will honestly say that Jordan, in my personal opinion, and I know people will come at me all sideways, Jordan is the GOAT in my opinion. Because
forever, right?
Forever.
Yeah.
Well, forever from the day I was born till now, my 31 years of living.
Right.
I'm not gonna go back into the 80s and the late 80s and 70s and stuff, because I want to respect those players in their time and what they did. But when you put the comparison of Jordan and LeBron, you have to remember three key things. One, Jordan damn near stayed with the Bulls, and they built the team. They basically picked, the only person they really traded for was Rodman and a few others. But Rodman was one of those ones that you traded for and you knew you was getting something great out of it.
Yeah.
So that's fine. LeBron went to Miami to win his first ring.
Right.
So that's number one. Number two, yes, Jordan didn't go to the finals in his later years, which is understandable because he was getting old. But even still, when he went, every time, clutch.
And that's my thing is with the LeBron and Jordan argument is Jordan let the team be orchestrated around him. LeBron plays GM, which I think screws him more than helps him. Two.
Oh, I didn't get to my third point.
Oh yeah, go ahead. No, finish. Yeah.
So the third point, and welcome to the show. We're talking about sports right now, but the third point that I want to make between Jordan and LeBron, in my personal, honest opinion, is I agree with I was going to say the GM point, but you got to think basketball in its time frame. At first, super teams wasn't a thing, because you got to remember when Chris Paul wanted to go to the Lakers, they made sure he went to New Orleans instead.
Yeah.
And so with Jordan and the Bulls, it was like how Golden State is now. You pretty much picked up everybody, and the only reason y'all got the ring with KD because he went to the team after Golden State beat him.
Yeah.
But even more so, everything was set up to the point that as long as you had your key players, you was good. It's sort of like the Cowboys dynasty.
Yeah.
Like the Cowboys will never be the same again because Jerry Jones just apologized to Jimmy for messing up the team later down the line. But and I'm bringing it back to say that when you have a perfectly good team structure, everything will fall in place.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I feel about Chicago. But continue your point. But because I'm going to say Jordan is the GOAT over LeBron, even if he wins another ring.
I'm agreeing. That's what I'm saying. I feel like the reason I bought in longevity is because it goes back to the Tiger Jack Nicklaus issue.
Yes.
Tiger has done stuff in a time span that can never be matched. The man was number one for I forgot how many weeks, 258 weeks. It's never been done. Two, the time span that he did it in is okay, this man won 52 tournaments in 1 year. Some greatest of all time golfers win 5-6 tournaments in their 20 years on tour. This man did it in 1 year.
Yeah. And
it's I think how fast somebody does something sets precedence over longevity, and that's where I feel like the LeBron and Jordan discussion gets dumb to me, because it's if I had 27 years to do something, not saying he's not go 27 years, but LeBron has at least 5 more years, total 25 years.
I think after Bronny comes into the league, I think he's going to retire. But I see your point.
But he could still play, though. That's what I'm saying. It's
well, it's sort of the Tom Brady effect. Most of the rules in the sense of the argument of the league are changing to format that person.
And that's my biggest thing. If you have a 6'8", 6'9"?
Yes.
He was 260 at one point, now he's 250.
Yes.
And the game is getting softer and softer. I hate when, I know people hate when I do this at the barbershop, but if you put LeBron with the Detroit Pistons, he's not balling like that. He's not balling out like that.
Oh God.
Like, well, against them, not on their team, but against them. And the things that Jordan did against the rules and the way the game was played at that time.
Especially how gritty the game was.
That's all I'm saying.
The game was what, like, it's the same argument with football in a sense, because if you take it a step back and you think the 90s era, the 90s was the Cowboys dynasty.
Yeah.
The 2000, you could say the 2000s and onward was basically Tom Brady, and everybody else was following suit after that. Whoever didn't, Tom Brady didn't get in, then whoever else won was winning.
Yeah.
But it proved the point that, like, there are a lot, even though the technology has changed and everything, like, the quarterbacks are being way more protected now than what they were back in the day.
Which is a good thing, but
it changes the whole fundamental rule of the game.
When I got 7 seconds to look for a route, and you're the best. How many teams are in the NFL?
32.
And I'm 32 of the best throwers of the football in the world.
Facts.
I'm gonna find somebody.
Exactly.
I'm gonna find. That's what I'm saying. Is it's the same thing with the game. When I can't touch you, and you're 6'9", it takes you 10 steps to get across an entire basketball court. 6'9", and you can literally dunk, and your hand is at the top of the shot clock. Where do we really call a scorer a scorer?
Exactly.
Like, I'm grabbing rim in 8th grade at 5'7".
See?
It's like I think that's what it is with me watching basketball. It's kind of the same thing I say about golf. If you ever watch the U.S. Open compared to any other major, the U.S. Open is where I can qualify to go play. I can't go play in the Masters unless I'm a top-ranked junior in the world.
Of course.
I can't go play in the Players. I can't go play at the PGA Championship.
Of course.
But the U.S. Open allows people to go to U.S. Open qualifiers around their local area and qualify to play in this tournament. But those courses, year after year, are set up in the hardest conditions that pros complain when they get there. And you don't see people going 22 under, 16, 18 under. 12 under wins those tournaments. And it's like, I would love to see basketball at a 12-foot goal.
Facts.
When you make it to that level, like, I want a 120-yard football field versus 100 yards in college and high school. Like, I know it's a dumb argument. This is coming from a person who doesn't watch sports.
But you know the analytics and the technicalities of the game.
I'm like, y'all are this much better, because between college and NFL, it's leaps and bounds.
But that's the same from high school to college, though.
I think there's some high school teams that'll whoop some of these college football teams.
Well, I mean, but it also, now with the NIL, it makes a big difference, too, because now you're getting players that are coming to more smaller schools trying to get their names made instead of the big schools buying them out and doing it in a secrecy.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with your initial argument.
Yeah.
But the twist in the point that I have is that I agree with your U.S. Open premise because that really made sense. Like don't get me wrong, back in like the 90s, you could walk on a team if you were really good and make a good practice squad. Then hi Damo.
Hey Dom.
Hi Damo. Welcome to the show. Your mom was on earlier. But needless to say, when you made your premise and your point to detail what they're exactly doing, then it makes the conversation much more intellectual.
Yeah.
So I see your points. Because at the end of the day, when we go back, and we did go back to the Jordan and LeBron argument, it's like, there was a way more aggressive time.
Yeah, it was to me, that's basketball. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but even the NBA Finals and playoff scores over the past years have hit record numbers. Like, you're dropping 133 points in a playoff game.
It's sort of like All-Star Weekend.
It's like, how many open shots can a person have? And I get, shooting techniques and the three-pointer being way more valuable since Curry came through.
Facts.
You got big men who can shoot the three now. But it's like, I just don't understand, like, how people have this conversation and be like, LeBron. Now, LeBron is a GOAT.
Yeah, a GOAT.
A GOAT.
No dispute about that.
The man can play the 1 through 5 position and dominate whatever he puts his mind to. But as a player to player, skill for skill, and like I said, time span, how quickly somebody does something. Because we love to put up stats. The youngest to do this, the youngest to that. But then when we start talking about the GOAT conversation, we forget to put time frame into the aspect.
Facts.
And it's like, why does that all of a sudden forget to be got when y'all talk about it in every other thing?
No, I definitely agree because when you think, and also you got to remember the decade that they played into.
Yeah.
Because every decade was a different decade and a different era of dominance.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, right when Jordan came in, it was Magic and Bird.
Yeah.
So
he broke that down as well as why Bird is not one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time.
I can relate. I can understand that debate in its entirety.
Yeah.
But to bring back to the overall point, it's basically like saying Tom Brady's the GOAT because he has so many rings. But when you think about when he got those rings, and I respect the man that came in one of the last few picks in the draft.
Yeah.
And coming into a team and coming in with one of the best defensive mind coaches to help with the offensive scouting. And even then, I'm going to still continue on the vlog camera, but we're about to take another break, and we'll get right back to it because this is a very interesting debate, and I'm glad we're running it deep.
Sure.
Hold this one more time.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is like I don't watch sports, man, but I can definitely talk about it.
Of course.
Just because being an athlete, but
exactly.
I don't feel like I always lose in the barbershop because I don't have the stats. But
well, sometimes the stats are not the main thing, though, and it depends on your argument's premise.
Yeah.
Because when I used to go to barbershops, it would be the same arguments.
Yeah.
And you would have, and it's not about convincing the person; it's about convincing the idea.
Yeah.
And putting that idea in that person's head to change their mindset of how the game's played.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I always stick to just time span. Because to me, when you can do something fast, to me that shows your greatness. Back to back championships, like
2 times, 3 back-to-backs.
Like that's insane.
That's phenomenal, especially in the era that he played.
With the people that he had around, like like I said, Dennis Rodman was no slack.
No slack.
But you don't have Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant. Like that's 3 great basic, like who can play the 1 through 3 position themselves.
Yes.
Rodman was not coming to the 2.
Oh God, no.
Like he was where he was, and that's he had to be great in that position.
Facts.
Now, granted, Jordan could probably play anywhere, but
not center, but not.
I think he was quick enough and smart enough.
He was
and
quick,
explosive enough,
but not to defend.
Oh no.
No, I mean not to take the premise of what the position was.
Yeah.
I see your point.
Yeah. So I will sit back and always say Jordan is that guy.
Oh, don't cough right here. Don't die. Don't die right here, cuz.
But yeah.
And so, hold on. And so we're back. When we're getting to the last part of the show because this sports debate ended up being one of the best parts of the show that I was not prepared for, but it was a very intellectual part that was needed. And so, and our debate, and your points were very valid because I'm not going to disagree. Like, in the overall longevity, not only of the game and the sport itself, it made so much sense when you put the GOAT comparison to Jordan and LeBron.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they're both GOATs in their rights.
Yeah.
And
he's definitely the GOAT of this century.
Oh yeah, of course. Like because the only reason why people take Kobe out of the conversation in that instance because Kobe games.
I love Kobe.
But Kobe's game style was basically Jordan's.
Yeah.
That's the only argument. Like when you're talking about like the small guy that can actually shoot the ball and take it up and need to do when the job needed to be done and that have rings.
Yeah.
Your argument becomes when you bring Kobe in the conversation, you can honestly cut him out because it's like no disrespect to any Kobe fans, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
But it's like his game style was basically Jordan's.
Yeah.
So when Jordan retired finally from Washington, it was like, there you go. And the only team in its entirety that actually was the most slept on team is the Spurs.
Oh yeah. I have a Tim Duncan rookie card with a piece of his rookie jersey within the trading card somewhere in Corpus.
Oh,
my dad got to play with him, Kevin Garnett, and some other guy. Like I said, my dad wasn't a sports guy, but he knows who Tim Duncan was.
Mm-hmm.
He knows who Kevin Garnett was.
Mm-hmm.
Randomly was in San Antonio for a job. He owned a franchise of ADT.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the headquarters was. Where we got a lot of the supplies from. So he's like, I got an extra 4 or 5 hours. I'm gonna go to the Dominions.
Mm-hmm.
And he's playing by himself, and he catches up to this group, and he's like, some of the tallest golfers I ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So he comes up to the hole, and he's like, hey, you guys mind if I play through? And so him knowing who Tim Duncan and Kevin was, he was like, I'm gonna act like I don't know. So my dad teased off. He's like, you guys mind if I play with y'all? Because there's only 3 of them.
Yeah.
And he's like, you mind if I play with y'all? So the whole time, maybe 4 or 5 holes, my dad said he was like, I didn't say anything to him. He was like, I was acting like a normal black guy around another black guy playing some golf. And
There you go.
You guys are pretty tall. So So my dad, he's good. My dad used to be a scratch golfer, could hold his own on the golf course as well. And so they got to like the sixth hole that they were playing together, and I think Kevin Kevin Garnett, he's very.
Of course.
I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, so, my man, you ain't gonna say nothing. He like, what you mean? He's like, you know who we are? He's like, I think I seen y'all on the TV somewhere, but I can't. He's like, man, I know you. What's up, Tim? What's up, Ken? Like, he all over. I'm like, that's crazy. I was like, you really played that? He's like, I got a picture right here, baby.
That's a beautiful story.
And Tim had a car with his rookie jersey, a piece of his rookie jersey in the car, and gave it to him. I gotta find it though.
You have to find it because that's a story that, thanks to the subscribers of the show, nobody will never ever know.
Yeah.
Because honestly and truthfully, I'm a sneakerhead, and one of my dad's favorite possessions, besides a lot of the football players from Houston and everything that we have.
Yeah.
But I have Ricky Williams also from Texas, and
Okay.
Derrick Johnson, because he played as well, and family, football players as well. But we have gold embroidered cards, Michael Jordan's, all the years he won a ring.
Oh, that's wild.
Like, and they're still in a deadbolt safe.
Oh yeah, I sitting on something.
Sitting on luxury.
Yeah.
And it's because, like, it was, at that time, we was like, we're not messing with them. Like, these are more worth any of my Pokemon. These are about any of my Pokemon cards. These cards are so valuable, it was to the point that I wouldn't even sell them because I lived through those moments.
Yeah, and the value is more tangible in the memory than it is for the dollar.
Exactly, and so that memory alone is a tangible moment because of the fact that your dad got to play golf with two of the greatest players of their time.
Yeah.
That is a phenomenal thing, and I don't think people understand the gravitas of both Tim Duncan and Kevin Garnett. Like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, that is...
Kevin is probably one of my favorite players, even though I don't really watch it. I'm a demeanor person.
Okay.
Like, I love Tiger. Tiger didn't care. Tiger,
Facts.
granted, obviously we see he didn't care about a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
I like a person who can sit on camera. One of the greatest Tiger moments is his second year in golf. He was coming to a tournament, and I think it was Brendel Chambly or one of the reporters who was well known on Golf Channel asked him. He was like, "Hey, how do you feel about your odds this week?" And he was like, I feel like I can win. I feel like my game is there. Da, 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 da. And the guy chuckled. He was holding his interview card. And he chuckled and he said, "You'll learn." And he was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "For you to come out here and expect, your second year on tour to come out and beat these guys, you're kind of cocky." 20 years later, it's like, I knew what I got. Like,
he made him eat his words.
yeah, and it's like, I love it. I feel like Kevin was the same way. It's like, I know what I got. I know who I am. I'm not going to come on a court and automatically put myself at a disadvantage. And I kind of feel like that's how I carry myself as a person. I think I always relate to different athletes and different, pillars of whatever community they're in, whether it's business or life. Always believe in yourself before you let somebody else diminish your own talents and your own self-belief. So.
And there you go. There it is, right there. Because honestly, only you know what you can do on the field or the court. Or the course, relating to all sports.
Yeah.
So I honestly can understand that. It's just, I never thought, and I take a step back. I take a step back from the entire conversation that we had, because of course we're getting ready to close. I ain't want to hold you too long.
No, you're good. Yeah.
But
having fun.
and that's what the show is. It's really to have fun. But you never know what you're gonna do in life until you actually do it.
Man, that's one thing I have to stop preaching and start doing.
I mean, honestly, truthfully, do you know how the show started?
No.
For those who are Sneakers and Stogies listeners and Sneakers and Stogies watchers, and subs that also check on the show, we're gonna give you a quick course on how the show started. May 27th, which was the 2-year anniversary.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It's a funny day because 10 years ago to that day was my first day of leaving Houston to go to Alabama for my next internship.
Right.
And then I also celebrate my 5-year anniversary of losing my dog, my dog Batman and Robin, and finding them later. But that was the day I lost them.
Right.
And so when I started the show started because Nike had a pair of shoes that were very nice, and the hypebeast ruined the market. I had Uno came out with a new rule, the bounce rule, which made no fucking sense.
You gotta explain that later.
I will explain that later off on the vlog camera. And I ordered a pizza from Pink's Pizza, and they left it on the door at Cordero's old apartment over there.
Yeah.
And it was leaning, and I put it on Twitter, and my pizza was literally doing the south side. It leaned, and it was just scrunched up like me on the couch. So I was like, I needed to rant.
Yeah.
And so, literally and truthfully, I had all my music equipment. I think I had this computer or a different computer at the time. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to make a show and rant. Lord behold, 2 years later, I'm still doing the show with a whole different idea and making it go, and then streaming with it as well.
That's why I tell people, man, if you just have an idea, I think people get caught up in the minutia of starting stuff. And like I tell people about fitness, like I used to be in great shape, but I hate when people want to start something and they're like, well, I need this, and this, and I gotta track my macros, I gotta eat a million less calories than I just start.
Exactly.
Just go, just get in your car and go. So
Exactly.
Get in your car and go to the gym, get in your office and just turn the stream on. Don't go out and get the best capture card, the best camera, and the best PC. Like, just do what you need to do to get started, man.
Facts. Because it'll all come later.
It'll come together. My dad always said, the people will come when you put the work in. Don't try to get attention before you put the work in.
Facts.
Sit in your craft and just work. As long as you're working, your due diligence will pay off and it will come.
Exactly.
Your due diligence will pay off.
I think that's an important motto, not just for us as professionals in our own lives, but also in what we do in our other lives as well. Like, so I put in more time. Like, people would say, I don't go outside anymore because I'm working on the show.
Yeah.
And I honestly take a step back and think, like, that's why I think all my guests, even my guests that haven't came on yet, because doing the show in its entirety, I didn't do the podcast to be famous or anything like that. I just did the podcast to take a load off of what I'm going through in life. Because life brings you lemons, and you got to either make lemonades or you're going to stick lemons in your eye and burn your eyes out.
Exactly.
And so, in its entirety, and ironically, season 3 in itself, everybody, including yourself, and I feel like my roommate for the part 2 of the show, all made great points of pushing not only their crafts, but what they do in their entirety, and that's the importance of keeping the show around. Because honestly, I don't care if I make money from the show or not, but it's just getting people an opportunity to speak their voices. Because normally, and probably one other guest, I will say, have only came on to me doing an impromptu show with no script.
Yeah, I mean, I love conversations like that. I just like to talk.
Exactly, and that's what mainly the show is basically people getting their points across and just sitting back and just listening and taking different perspectives. Like, I've had people that have done movie work from California on the show. Y'all missed that episode, it ain't out yet. I've had artists on the show, fashion designers on the show, the DJ. I've had many people, come on the show later down the line after I built the show up. But when it comes down to it, I just want to give people a platform to speak.
And I will say in our community as black people, not trying to go on a political tirade.
Go ahead. We do politics too.
I had a pool, well, I didn't have a pool party, but my community at my apartment, we had, Memorial Day at the pool. And there's a group of people that I sit around with, and we had a conversation of, black relationships between black men and black women. And I've always had an idea to get a safe space where black men and black women can come and talk. And I feel like that's what you're doing now. Even as something as baseline as sneakers and sports and just life itself.
And Stogies. Do not forget the
Oh
Stogies.
yeah, and the Stogies, baby. You gotta, we gotta create that more, because I feel like that's where us as a community is having a very big disconnect. We don't talk. We love to shout and comment shouts.
Exactly.
And I feel like if people have that platform, which is why I love what you do, you allow people to come in and be themselves and not push a narrative. Exactly,
and that's honestly what I do the show for, because at the end of the day, a narrative is going to be pushed regardless. But it's up to us as the creators and us as the people to change the narrative.
Exactly.
Like, honestly and truthfully, like I said, I appreciate every experience I've had with these 2 years doing this show because honestly and truthfully, I've been in a dark place. But the show reels me back in, and I have to turn me off and turn the other me on.
Yeah.
And so, when it comes to the show, I am very appreciative not only of the guests, not only of my host and my co-host and my executive producer who is allowing us to do the show here. Shout out to Damo. But at the end of the day, it's more of it's therapeutic.
Yeah, very.
It's very therapeutic.
This has taken a load on. I hope this isn't the last time.
No.
Very. Even if I'm just sitting over there on the side, like I said, conversations are what need to be had, and people's opinions need to be said without feeling of condemnation. Like, oh, you're gonna be judged. Like, no, like the black community is one of the most silenced communities outside and inside.
Facts.
We speak up, but we speak up through filters. And I want people to be able to sit and say something controversial, but allow the opposite side to talk to you, and then you rebuttal back.
Mm-hmm.
And it like, for example, like everything that's going on with the shootings, the decline of black marriages and everything, man, we just need to talk. We just need to talk.
Exactly.
And allow people to talk, because I feel like as soon as somebody says something, like, nobody wants to hear anybody.
Facts.
And it's like, you have to be accepting that people are gonna have different views. I'm not gonna. Me specifically, I am the most unpolitically correct person. I will say what's on my mind, whether or not it's what the society should accept. But I also am gonna sit back and hear why I'm wrong or why I'm right or why you disagree with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's not happening is people are trying to be like, no, you're gonna think how I'm gonna think, and I'm gonna fight you over it until you think how I think, instead of just okay. I'm not going to agree with you, but we're going to come to a common ground. Mm-hmm. And I feel like gun laws, relationships, whatever it may be, like, that's what's not happening. It's like people are trying to be like, no, this is the way it is. Mm-hmm. And until this happens for what we think, we're just going to fight against y'all instead of sitting down and talking, which what is supposed to be what Congress is about.
Don't get me started with them.
Yeah, because I have this whole theory that I'm like, how do you have two people who completely disagree on what they think? You expect them to work together. Mm-hmm. They have two completely different views on life.
Facts.
And they get into office by arguing other views. But then you expect them to work together.
Exactly. Like, how does that work? And I guess I'll take a deeper twist on it. Like, Roe v. Wade.
Yeah.
Like, it's been precedent for 50 years. Mm-hmm. We have got... And it's more so for the women's rights than anything.
That's the only thing it should be about.
And honestly, you have more men trying to control women's rights than the women. And I'm not saying the women aren't doing that. That's not what I'm saying. Don't misquote me on that. I'm saying there's too many men trying to think that they're thinking for the women instead of letting the women say what they need to be said and allowing them to express their points and actually have an honest debate and the reasons of why you want to do this. Because at the end of the day, you're affecting millions of people by doing something so egregious that you're setting us back 50 years. Yeah. Or even if you want to go to Samuel Justice Alito's opinion, 500 years. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah. But I see your point.
It's like a guy, you ever watch Louder with Crowder?
No.
So Louder with Crowder, he did the what do you want to call it? The series.
Yes.
Of what like whatever it is, change my mind. So like I'm pro-gun, I'm pro-choice, I'm pro-abortion.
Of course.
Change my mind. So he actually did a little segment where he goes, I think he's based in Austin.
Oh.
And he goes out and he asks people about the Roe v. Wade. And like his original series was, do y'all even understand what's going on? Because it wasn't that it was a complete takeaway of the right to abortion, but it was to give it to the states.
Yeah, and
my bad. My biggest thing was like, if we're the United States of America, why is all of a sudden these past 4 or 5 years it's all about, well, let's desegregate the laws or decentralize the laws and now give each individual state its choice to do what it wants? Wow, for example, marijuana. Why is it that a guy in Texas can get 10 years for something, but I can go to Colorado and be as free as I want? That's To me, that's insane.
No, it's honestly and truly, if you want to go into deeper detail with that, it's even more insane when you think about why the laws were created in the first place.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, and I'm not the most politically correct person either, but I listen to politics every now and then just to take my mind off of everything else. It's like you have more freer states, and correct me if I'm wrong, you have more freer states with certain regulations coming to more liberal states, more conservative states, and still getting fucked off because they're so used to the states they were in.
Yeah.
And when you are here, like for example Texas, where it's so conservative, it's like, well damn, other states are doing it way better, but I see their prices are going up, and everything is like an universe within itself.
Yeah.
And so when you think about like politicians and lobbying, it's fucking up everything even more. Like there's so many little like jabs that are fucking up the main central point.
Yeah.
That if you took money out of politics, a lot of people's views would be different.
Yeah. That to me, that's literally what it is. Is like why marijuana was banned in the first place. Think about it. Not everybody can go and produce cognac in their backyard.
Facts.
Right? But a 12-year-old can grow a marijuana plant.
Oh, that is.
So, to me, the government feels like, I can't make money off of it because everybody can do it, so I'm going to cut it out.
Exactly, and even then.
It's like, I feel like that's what they do. If they can't make money off of it, or if it helps them do something to change a point that they're trying to get into society, whether it's economical, social, whatever, they're going to do their best to keep them in power.
Exactly, and that's the thing that's fucking up the country now. That's why the country is so divided now within the last 8 years.
Yeah,
Well, the division is more prominent in the last 8 years than it has been in the last 20 or 30 years. But I see your general point. Because at the end of the day, and this is the last topic, of course, for the main show. If you want to see the rest of the show, you follow the YouTube channel, like, subscribe and everything. But the vlog camera will be still going. But to make the point clear, it's like how certain states, even neighboring states, are way better off with less crime and less division because certain laws are way more loosened than when you're having people that are locking up people just because of the littlest thing.
I will say, I give it to politicians because politics is not easy.
Of course, it's never easy.
But
I got a show that you need to watch then that you will enjoy.
Yeah, like I said, I'm on YouTube all day. So Netflix,
HBO Max.
Oh yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Okay, watch Veep.
What is it?
Veep. V-E-E-P.
Okay.
It's starring Elaine from Seinfeld. I can't think of her name right now. Oh,
I watched Seinfeld, but that was a little bit before Veep.
But you remember Elaine, the female character. I can't think of her name right now.
Was she one of the main?
Yeah, she's the main character. She has her own show. It's Veep. It's basically her as vice president.
Okay.
And it's basically showing her, and I'm gonna give y'all a short summary. It's basically showing her whole transformation and what she did to end up later in the end becoming president, and all the laws that they had to filibuster, change, and you basically politics within itself, and predicting politics within this actual timeline before shit got real.
Yeah.
And like it's funny because everything that's happened now was in Veep 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and that's just a common thread just to explain the point. But honestly and truthfully, the conversation we're having is basically that show.
Yeah.
So I give you that recommendation.
Yeah, definitely, because I need something new to watch. So.
Oh yeah, Veep, 7 seasons.
I'm into shows like that.
If you like a show that, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it starts off roasting. It's a show that politically roasts.
Which is good.
Like it shows.
You get on people's butts.
You get on people's butts, but it's so fast that if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those good shows. But we're about to continue the second show. So live, we're cutting off the live. You got any last words for the people on live?
Just like I said before, man. If you got an idea, just start. You don't need to sit down and congregate with people to generate the idea. Start with what you got. because that's what's gonna keep you pushing that idea forward. Your own self-belief, believe in yourself. Us as black people in the community, we gotta come together and start having these tough conversations that we don't want to have because we gotta fix ourselves before we ask somebody else to come in and help fix us.
Facts.
So, and then last thing, if you mind if I put my Twitch up in. So follow me on Twitch. I stream Modern Warfare, Warzone, Search and Destroy. I'm trying to grow it, trying to get to affiliate. I'm only 4 away.
Oh, that's good.
It is RENIOR888, as in the number. And that's also my IG, but just without the 888 underscore RENIOR_.
Just text it to me and I'll put it on the thread for the show.
Got you.
So my last words is, we celebrated 2 years of the show, and this is like the first half of the season finale for the show. But SLF, I'm giving them a shout out, had a phenomenal Memorial Day weekend to the point that I worked media, and so if you watch the reels and you watch the live, you saw some of the weekend, but you ain't see everything. So check out the official _SLF page to catch the rest of the content when it comes out, because I'm editing that while I'm editing the show. And so this is your favorite YouTube villain signing out, Landon Strange, and my favorite guest here, my part 1 season finale guest, Renoir. I said it correctly with the French accent, of course. And we are signing out. You're... Share. Alright, so I'm going to save all that later. So, let's get back to... We're still on the vlog camera, so the vlog camera's still going. It's going to die, but we still got the main camera going too, which is beautiful. So when either one of them die, we'll be done officially. So, we went through a lot of topics, and a lot of people won't see this part, because unless they watch the vlog episode, and I cut it, I'm not going to cut the vlog. The vlog episode saves it to its entirety.
I like that.
So that way it's less editing on my behalf. Because I'm editing it. And if you don't have a faster computer, then it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But, honestly and truthfully, I enjoyed. Honestly, I wish we'd have done this episode a lot sooner.
Yeah.
But you're always welcome on the show. You know that.
Awesome.
So, I want to ask, what has been your best moment at Texas Southern? Just to change the momentum of the show.
Got to go through a couple. I will say as a whole, Texas Southern in itself was a great experience for me. Coming from a private PWI, I hate it. I mean, I love the golf team, love the people, but the school experience as itself was grueling. Being in Oklahoma, I will say my first homecoming that I really, and honestly, I'm not saying this for cap because we're sitting by each other.
Of course.
But my first homecoming that I got to spend with you guys.
Which year was that?
I think it was 2018.
2018. Okay,
that I actually got to spend with y'all. Like, I think I was actually in Cordero's car, carried that case from that back street where between the.
I know what you're talking
on the
about.
other side of Courtyard, and everybody. It was a homecoming that had homecoming vibes. I met so many people. I was able to reconnect with people that graduated. I got to talk to people that, in an aspect that they never got to see me because, like I said, I was very ducked off.
Of course.
So my last year I hung out because I didn't play golf, so I had way more time. I was out on the yard with everybody talking behind the school and stuff like that. And but that homecoming, I felt like I was a student. I felt like I got to really see what Texas Southern was about. And as far as going to the comedy show, I was able to attend because if people don't know that the golf team doesn't get to go to the first couple of days of homecoming because we always have a tournament.
Oh, that's right.
So when I say homecoming, I mean not homecoming day, the yard fest or whatever they call it, but that week I was able to actually go through the events Monday through Saturday. And so it was an experience that let me know that I'm home and I'm at a place where people like me are together.
Of course.
And I always tell my cousins, I had a couple cousins try to go to Texas State, and they try to go to UT and stuff like that. And I always say two things. One's about college and one is specifically about HBCU, but they both are the same thing.
Okay.
Specifically to guys, I always tell my guy cousins, enjoy this moment. not from a sexual standpoint, not from just trying to talk to girls, but me as a person, I have always been very in tune with my feminine side.
Fair.
And I used to always, Coop will tell you, we would have game nights, and specifically during homecoming, we had game nights where I got to talk to a lot of women that I'm not trying to get you into my dorm to have sex with you.
Of course.
I want to understand that. And homecoming, when people, get a little drunk, their tongues are free.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always the person that was like, I'm going to ask the hard questions right now. I was trying to start this dialogue.
Of course.
And that homecoming specifically, we had a game night afterwards, and it was just some of the realest times I've ever had where I've seen black women, black men really vibe together with differences in present, but we talked.
Okay.
We conversated, and it was just that all together. And like I said, I tell my cousins that you will never be around this many people that are like-minded, like-interested, and goal-oriented as you. More specifically at HBCU, it gets even on a different level that I feel it's pivotal for a black kid to go to an HBCU. I'm not pushing just because I want the numbers to go up, but I genuinely got to see from a school that is making money from kids going to school. Like, it was $50,000 for me to go on the West End, versus at TSU, totally different game plan. I got to see what it meant to go to a PWI and not feel welcome every day you got on campus, but I had genuine friends.
Of course, that's fair.
Yeah, I had genuine friends, white, black, Asian. My roommate was from Columbia. He played golf with me, let me use his car to go to practice, but I didn't have a car up there. Like, I met genuine people, but people like you, Coop, Cordero, Toki, everybody at TSU that I still, and I know I'm not the most present person in life right now.
Same.
But I hold every single one of y'all dear to my heart because of moments like that. Like,
that's fair.
Like, not trying to.
No.
I want to say something. I'm not trying to cross the lines, but being like, y'all were in a fraternity and I wasn't, but I felt like I was one of y'all's brothers. Not
physically.
Yeah, but I felt like I was a little brother to y'all. Like,
yeah.
Like to this day, I still mention y'all as my mentors. Anytime somebody asks about Jacob Cordero, whether y'all not accepted that role, y'all were my mentors. And at TSU, sitting back behind the calf with y'all, talking, smoking some
cigars,
and y'all could let me hit Hennessy White for the first time. Like, it was something that I'll never forget. Like, I fight for TSU. When people say, "Oh, TSU did TSU," I get our financial aid ain't the best department, but
I mean that's most HBCUs.
Yeah,
but
I always tell my cousins that, cause, I have a family. My mom is the baby of 13 kids. I have aunts. I have cousins older than my mom.
Oh wow.
So I would tell every single one of them, y'all need to go to TSU. Y'all, or go to a HBCU, family, I don't care. But get that experience. Get that experience. I had a sister who went to UT. And
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, and when she went to, different schools, she went to Morehouse for homecoming once and stuff like that.
Oh, she went to Spell House.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Spell. Yeah. She went to, their little events that they have and stuff, and she loved UT, got a great job, it lives a great life, but she's like, I kind of wanted that experience. Her initial school was Cornell, and she wanted to go and stay close to home, so she ended up going to UT, and she was like, I should have missed both of them and went to Texas Southern or something,
Of course.
So it is, I hold TSU very near and dear to my heart as a whole, but that particular homecoming where I actually got to be a student really showed me what that school could be, and I tell people, stop trying to get things to come to you, because TSU has the resources, but you have to be present and active. And that let me know, I met so many people that do things that I'm not interested in.
Of course.
But I see what the potential is, that it's no different. You have PWI kids, come from money, you have HBCU kids come from money, and vice versa. It's all equal, just on a different level, but you have to be present to see that we're not at a disadvantage if we make our school. And once we show up as students, the school will be what it needs to be. You can't expect administration to do something that essentially you should be doing.
Fair.
So, administration has their faults, they have where they gotta pick up, but TSU could be a great school. It's Houston, Texas. Everything comes here to be here. So,
which is weird.
Yeah, but like I said, I'll probably never move out of Houston. If I do, it's Florida, It's North Carolina. It's somewhere where it's a golfing oasis. But as far as moving somewhere else in Texas, I can't do it.
It's not the same, and I guess because once you had the true experience of a member of the Texas Southern alumni and they've been through TSU, and especially being an athlete through TSU, because I can relate throughout my 3 years of track.
Yeah.
It's a different feeling. Because I feel your pain in a certain instance because track season is year round.
Yeah.
So if you didn't qualify for NCs, that was the end of your year. So that's not till April.
Yeah.
But all seasons in August or September.
Yeah.
So I can relate to certain things. But even still on a deeper level, it's just, I'm grateful for all my experiences at TSU because I did the reverse. I went to HBU for my PWI degree, my master's. So it was a different feeling, but I felt the same way. I had genuine friends and everything, but some parts of the school wasn't as welcoming, but they tried. I will say this: HBU tried their hardest to make everyone feel welcome, but at the same time, coming from an HBCU to a PWI is 2 different levels.
Yeah.
So I kind of can understand on the inverse.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we made that moment for you.
Yeah. It was
Of course, homecoming is always turned, except for these last few years, and hopefully this year will be the one that gets right. But that's neither here nor there. That's my own personal debate, my own personal opinion.
Yeah.
So another question, like I said, only the main camera and the vlog camera, the live won't see this until, everything afterwards, because I only got 30% battery, I got a half dead battery, I got a dying battery on all 3 cameras. I'm so used to batteries dying that it's funny, but
is the red light supposed to be on?
yeah, it's not on. I feel like it's already dead. That's why I'm not tripping. The camera's on. These cameras, this is on, but I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
I guess the main thing, because I think it's probably the memory card's probably full. My main question for another, behind the scenes, is your point of the GOAT debate. And and since you didn't watch sports too much, but you watched golf, who was besides Tiger, because I know you was going to go to Tiger, I don't want to make it easy. That would have been too easy. That would have been way too easy.
Yeah.
Who else besides Tiger is your golf person in
present or of all time?
Your pick. Dealer's choice. I don't want to be rude. Because if I would have said present, I'd know who you would probably.
So when I say GOAT, for me, it's not stats. It's a person that I just like to watch, and it's Jason Day. He was number 1 at one point. Dominated the PGA Championship, I believe it was 2018, 2019, one of those years. But it's just his style of play. I like I said, basketball, football, hockey. I don't care. I like fearless players that if it's not a smart shot, I want you to take it. Because I've never been taught to play anything safe. Even though I'm very risk averse, I said that earlier in the show. But sports-wise, I'm aggressive. If it's water on the left, water on the right, I'm not pulling a iron. I'm hitting a driver as deep as I can. If I'm going to hit it out of bounds, I'm not going to hit it out of bounds taking a 3/4 swing. I'm swinging as hard as I can. That ball, I'm going to know that ball's gone, and I got to get another ball. I'm not going to be like, it may be in, it may be out. No, you're going to know that ball's gone. Pull another ball, hit another ball. And that's what I feel like Jason Day, Tiger, Roy McIlroy is another. I love because his swing is flawless.
I might not watch golf, but I know that name.
Yeah, Roy McIlroy is that guy. He's that guy. So there's plenty of other players, and that's what I think about golf is golf forces you to be an independent thinker. You have a caddy out there as a team, but I've always said that why I would say the greatest athlete of all time to me is Tiger.
Of course.
You've had plenty of people come back from injury. You've had plenty of people come back and defy what the media was saying, but numbers-wise and theoretical, argumentative, reason-wise, nobody's really ever done things in sports that Tiger has done. When you talk about complete dominance of the game, Tiger's the only person, besides rules, that players do things in sports that, okay, you can't do this rule, you can't run the football this way anymore, but you had people in the PGA literally spend 20 to 30, 40, 50 million dollars after Tiger won a golf tournament to change a golf course. They call it, literally, you can coin the term, look it up, it's called Tiger-proofing a golf course. Let's say he cut it across a set of trees. They will plant a 50, 60-foot tree that next year, so he can't play that golf course that way. And he will find it, he'll be like, if you put it there, I'm going to draw it around the tree. they literally adjusted golf courses for this man, which is when you get into the Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods debate of GOATs. Jack Nicklaus saw the same golf courses year in after year. You know, granted, that's another aspect of golf. Is day 1 through day 4. A football field is a football field.
Yeah.
Basketball court is a basketball court. Game 1 and game 5. But a golf course can change one hole after another. Wind, rain, sleet, snow. That's why I say, like, people love to talk. And I'm not trying to be like the golfer, like, but when people say golf is easy,
I think hell no.
rucksack that 60 pounds for 4 days straight when you're carrying your own bag, and you know, I could literally play 18 holes. After I finish the 18th hole, go back to the first hole, and that hole could play completely different. The wind could shift from left to right. So the first day I played a draw. Later that day I need to play a fade because now the water's in play because the wind's pushing towards the water now. Morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's the thing. Tough thing too. People who get morning tee times versus midday tee times. So nobody in college and high school we all tee off at the same time. They play a group on 1, 2, 3, 4, and we all just shift like that. So if you started on hole 18, your last hole is hole 17. So it's everybody. But in tournament golf and PGA, people tee off in I think 8-minute segments. So they tee off at different times. So some people tee off at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Some people tee off at 1 o'clock in the evening. That starting hole number 1 could be a totally different beast if the wind picks up 20 miles an hour versus no wind in the morning.
Okay.
So you're competing not only against them as their skill level, but you're competing against how the hole in the course was playing. Courses dry out, greens get harder. They're soft in the morning, so if I hit a green, it sticks and the ball spins back to the hole. Whereas in the middle of the day, it's now dried out, it's windy. That ball could hit in that exact same spot and bounce off the green. So golf, that's why I tell people, golf is not just, oh, you just hit the ball and just putting. No, it's a different beast. It's a continuous mind stroke. It's 20% physical, 80% mind, because you have to be like in it at all times. There's no, I sit on the bench and recoup myself. Like I'm continuously playing golf all day long.
For 4 or 5 days straight.
Yeah, and if I get out of my mindset in the middle of the round, that could be different. First place and second place in golf, literally sometimes I've heard people literally losing a stroke because if I tie with you in second place, we got to split the purse, so I might as well just get third place. It's crazy. You know how you do that?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Hey,
sorry, y'all.
Yeah, go ahead. It's the liquor that got some, ladies and gentlemen.